like that!
All right, doing well. Epic battle. All right, but two damn good teams at a crucial part of the season. All right, going to the back end of the season. Two damn good offenses, two good defenses. We came out on the short end of the stick. All right. Enjoyed the battle. I hope we look forward to seeing them again. Questions?
AG, what's a game like that from a coaching perspective where maybe it just doesn't seem like the plan is working the way you want it to, the adjustments maybe aren't going the way you want them to. What's the emotions you go through as a coach during something like that?
First off, I don't see why we would think that the adjustments were. That's a damn good player, MVP type player that we went against. One of the best offenses in the league. And listen, we know that player's gonna make some plays. I said that last week. And they did a really good job. All right. I mean, he threw some balls up and they came down with them. All right. When you go back and watch the film, look at the passing game was him moving around, right, and just finding guys open. That's pretty hard to do as a defense when you got your guys covering for that long against a guy like that. We had him wrapped up a couple of times, didn't make the tackle. But our guys understand that. All right. So as you go back and look at it, all right, obviously you want to do some things different. So I think that happens on both sides. But again, man, that's a pretty good player. Pretty good player.
A couple of your players said the same thing. Hopefully we see them again.
Yep.
Do you start thinking immediately about what you do different if you did? You wait till when?
No, I go on to the next game. All right. So right now we're about to get ready to play the Bears. Another good team that has skilled players that we got to be good with. Have a quarterback that's emerging right now, and obviously, like I said, but skilled players. We know who those guys are, so we got to do a good job with those guys.
Speaking of the Chicago game, just almost a tale of two halves.
Yep.
Obviously, didn't score in the first half, had some success in the second. What did you learn in the second half about Williams, this offense, that maybe you have to prepare for this time around?
Man, he's very resilient. There's no quit in that player. It's funny that the narrative that so many people want to put on someone when they really don't know who they are, that is funny to me, and that happens to a lot of these young quarterbacks that's in this league. They get beat down so much that people really don't see the things that they go through, right, to be a top player, especially a number one pick. And you can go through the years of some of these guys. Think of the quarterback that Minnesota has right now. He was beat down so much with the Jets, and now he's having success. And now these so-called guys that think they know what they're talking about, right, have no idea. Now, when I see the same thing with this player, I'm not saying his career is going to end up the same way, but I think he's a damn good player. He has a lot of talent. He has talent around him. He's have to continue to learn and grow and understand that. So, in answer to your question, we have to make sure that we corral him. All right, we have to make sure our disguises have to be on point against this player, because if he see it, he's going to get the ball out. And he's going to find out where he needs to go. So, again, emerging player. I think he's going to be a damn good player in this league, and we got a test for us.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like licensing was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report, and it's your host, Russell Wayne, up in the house today. How are you guys all doing today? Getting to this TGI Friday right here, where we're going to get into the coordinator talk today. I like to do my coordinator reaction video segment here on TGI Fridays right here as we're getting ready for this Chicago Bears game, going to the Windy City to play a little bit. We're broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad YouTube page right there. Thank you to the people that are over there subscribing, right? Get over there to the YouTube and put a subscribe on there. We got over 800 now. We're building that up, but we're also broadcasting live into our Facebook page. Our Facebook page has over 60,000 villains on there. From last year, it was great. And between 60 and 70,000 villains, you're going to hear from me, Leon Phelps, or a guy that sounds like Leon Phelps. And he's going to be saying thank you. And thank you for acknowledging the villain. It has done wonders for my evening light because they play so many of these evening games. I can just invite a couple of my lady friends over. I'm not really a football fan, but these girls are really fired up about it. And, you know, it makes them feel kind of it gets them all excited, and I like them when they excited. And thank you to acknowledging the villain on the Facebook page and the YouTube page right there. And still, I'm trying to figure it out. What is a Packer exactly? Yeah, it's Lions Villain Report. You can watch it. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's about football. It's good for you. You should watch it. It could be good for your life. Oh, hell yeah. If you're a Detroit Lion fan, give me a hell yeah right there. Yeah, that's right. We're also broadcasting live into the NFL Huddle Sports Network on Roku. Thank you to Bill Packer fan. Thank you to Mike the Bear fan for putting that out there. And we're the UDFA of sports podcasting. We're out here grinding, working hard, getting better every single day that we come out here. So you can support the UDFA of sports podcasting, the Tom Kennedy baby of sports podcasting, by liking, sharing, and commenting on this. And if you want to partner with the villain, like the NFL Shop right there, we are a affiliate marketing partner with NFL Shop. You can use that QR code and that link, save yourself up to 25% off of your order. Thank you to our affiliate marketing partners. And if you want to find out how you can partner with the villain, be guilty by association, you can get a hold of Main Event Mike at 810-620-2167. That's 810-620-2167, and find out how you can be guilty by association. If you own a business and you want to be seen in front of our over 100,000 person network, then you should give Main Event Mike a call right there. And thank you. I appreciate that. That's right. And today we're going to be doing our coordinator talk. So what is that exactly? So if this is your first time here, thank you for being here on the first time here. And get that out of the way. Right. And get some of this going back up here. Setting the mood just right as I say hello to everybody. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get better at my beginning part. I'll throw it out there because I want to get to the nuts and bolts just as fast as you guys want to. But I do want to say and acknowledge everybody that is watching the show right now. Like the Central Scrutinizer. What's up, buddy? Faith, family, and then football. I love it.
You like that?
I love it. We use football. We don't let football use us. We don't turn into a butthole when they lose. Maybe for a little bit. You get 15 minutes. There you go. Davey up in the house. Good morning, One Pride. Let's go, Lions.
You like that? You like that?
There you go. Right there. Here's the YouTube channel. Hit that up. I'll leave it up there for a minute. Go subscribe to that Villain Squad YouTube page, man. Help us get out there. Even if you think we suck, we'll get better. We'll get better. We're in the grind. We're good with that. Thank you for that. Good morning, Dwayne.
You like that? You like that?
Let's go, Lions. One Pride. Kings of the North Division. Championship title. All crit. Never back down. 12-2. Let's make it 13-2. Can a lion beat a bear? I say hell yeah. It might take a pack of them. That's what you got to do.
You like that?
Who's next? The Chicago Bears are next. Central Scrutinizer. Going down to Chi-Town. It takes more. We got Jimmy Hoffa in the house. He's got to go, Pat, go.
You've had enough of that shit.
Good morning, Jason. Go Lions.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ooh, Jason got the Scarface. So what's our injury situation? We can get into that. You guys want to get into that? I don't mind that. Back off the music a little bit. But the injury situation is it's a little bit better than it was. So the news was that David Montgomery got like a third opinion, and he was going to have season-ending surgery, but they decided that they're not going to have the season-ending surgery, that they didn't need the season-ending surgery, which doesn't do anything in the short term, but it does give him a possibility to come back in the playoffs. So, getting through the rehab, you know, I mean, I've always been that kind of guy. If you can get away without the surgery, then, you know, your body's a machine. Should be able to heal if you can get it. But yeah, David Montgomery might be back. And then you have the injury situation of what are we going to do in the time being to, you know, to get through that situation. And I got a couple slides that I'm trying to get up here. I'm trying to be slick about it, but I'm not doing it very well. My presentations. But we got Jalen Reeves-Maben coming back. And good morning. Good morning, Jerome.
You like that? You like that?
Good morning, Steve.
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh gosh. I love you guys. I love you guys. Yeah, well, the Lions getting a couple of guys back. I know that we've been decimated with the injuries. Lost Aleem McNeil. We lost Carlton Davis. We lost Khalil Dorsey. And what are we going to do about that? You know, we did get Jalen Reeves-Maben back. This is a underestimated get back right here. Jalen Reeves-Maben has done nothing but overachieve since he's gotten here. I mean, last year he was a first-team All-Pro on special teams. And every time he's came in and played as a linebacker, he's been outstanding. Outstanding in coverage. So getting Jalen Reeves-Maven back is a big get, especially in that linebacking core, who just got torched for the first time this year on the ground. And that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good and another thing is they activated Ifeatu Melifonwu. He's in that 21-day window where they can bring him to the main roster if they want to. They haven't done that part yet, but he could play on Sunday, as soon as Sunday. They activated her earlier this week. He'd been practicing. So that's huge because Ifeatu is a versatile player. You can play him in the slot corner. You can play him at safety. I don't know if you'd want to put him outside, but he's a blitzing machine. He had some sacks last year. Very creative with him. So, in the light of losing a big cornerback like Carlton Davis, you know, this isn't Carlton Davis, but this is secondary help for sure. So there you are on your injury front right there. And I like that call. David Montgomery might be back. You know what I'm saying? But here, a funny thing to me when I really think about this, and it's not funny that David Montgomery is hurt. It isn't. But what's humorous to me is the fact that anybody would freak out about it. We have 2 featured backs. That's an embarrassment of riches. So you're telling me, I mean, it's awful that we've lost David Montgomery. But if you're telling me that we're forced to use our best playmaker more, that part of it doesn't hurt me all that bad. You know? Jahmyr Gibbs is a stud, man. You're going to tell me you're going to give him 5 to 10 more touches now? While you're splitting the carries now? With Craig Reynolds. Come on, Craig. Craig Reynolds averaged over 4 yards carry. Just because you haven't seen or heard from him this year. Well, that's because you got 2 real good backs. Well, actually, you had 3 real good backs because Craig Reynolds is fine. You want that north and south guy? Craig Reynolds can protect the passer. They were also talking about Jamar Jefferson. Happy Friday, Elise. Thank you for making that meme for me.
You like that?
I like feeling like I'm part of a team. Because sometimes when you get on a team, you can feel like it's just a collection of individuals that are all kind of out for themselves. And, you know, the first thing you got to do is identify your teammates. And Elise, you've been a good teammate. Because the bigger picture is worth more than, you know, anything short term. The big picture. You know, I really want to be able to figure out how to do this, you know, and become the villain squad powerhouse, right? I'd love Amon-Ra St. Brown one day to be able to come onto this show. I mean, but I want to earn it. You know? I want to earn it. I want to have a good enough show that would be good enough to have Amon-Ra St. Brown on it. So, I don't mind working for that. So, we may not be the best show, out here, but we're going to continue to work. We're going to work our way up the chain. Leo says the Reynolds rap, baby. Come on, Craig. Craig's fine. I like Craig. Panay Sewell says the real fans, they stick down through whatever. And if you want to keep questioning, then go ahead. Just hop off. You'll see what happens. The sky isn't falling. I absolutely loved the way that Aaron Glenn handled this. And actually, let's get into that. You know, let's get into that. I want to look at this thing because Aaron Glenn spoke to the media, and really, you should listen to this too, Steve. You guys, we ain't worried about it. I mean, the sky isn't falling because we lost a couple guys. It's been next man up for 2 months, and we've been fighting like this for 2 months. This isn't nothing new, losing guys. We had more guys gone in the Packers game, in which we won that game. I lost the game. But here we go. I want to check this out. Here's Aaron Glenn up at the podium from yesterday.
The guys were saying that they were told that when Caleb was along the sidelines to make sure you hit him. Because was that just because he had a tendency to kind of sneak
We
up?
hit anybody that's not, if you're in bounds, we're going to hit you.
We lost to Collins.
Yep.
Khalil, you guys have had a lot of attrition on that side of the ball, but what about the versatility of your secondary kind of gives you confidence that you can weather that storm?
And that's something I've been talking about all year, that we have a chance to move people around to make sure that we're in the right positions to make those guys successful. And listen, those things hurt. I mean, when you lose players like that, it always hurts. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a frustrating process that those things happen, but as you think about it, the way that I look at it, probably totally different from other people look at it. I'm not frustrated for me, per se. I'm frustrated for them because of the season those guys were having. And I always look at it from a player perspective. I was talking to someone this morning. You take Hutch, for example. I think Hutch has 7.5, almost 8 sacks. I think the leader has 12 sacks. So just imagine if he was still here, what he'd be doing, right? So that's where my frustration comes from, right, from what the players have done and what they could have done as the season progressed.
Especially with used any like motivational type. We saw Dan come super positive this week, where it seemed like the outside world was the sky is falling, kind of that type of deal. But how have you approached it, man? Have you
Guys, we're 12-2. We're 12-2, and the sky's falling. We're going to the playoffs. We're in the dance. We're in the tournament. Why in the hell is the sky falling for us? What do we have to sit back and be sad? I mean, we left you guys. We let you guys do that. Our job is to go play football. And that's what we're going to continue to do. All right? We lost 1 game. Well, 2 games. We lost 2 games. We have a chance to win out, all right, and accomplish everything that we want to accomplish. So why should we sit back and wallow and think the sky's falling? It's dumb.
Just to follow up on that, you are losing Aleem McNeil in the middle. That's probably why people think the sky is falling. How big of a challenge is that? Not just him, but all the other pieces that have gone.
Listen, we've said this from the next guy's got to come up and play, right? That's the reason why they're here. And I've said this also. I'm not going to disrespect any of the players that we have here because they work their ass off just like everybody else. And I hope you guys don't do that also, all right? Because they deserve a chance to go out there and play whenever their time is to go play. Our personnel department does a really good job of finding guys that fit who we are, and we're going to put them on the field and we're going to play.
Back to Nolan's question about the versatility of your secondary, it seems like you could go a lot of different directions with how you want to mix and match back there. I'm just wondering your process. Do you have plans A, B, and C, and you test them all out in 1 week, or do you try one a week and then maybe adjust next week? How do you go about finding what's best for you?
Well, it all depends on the team that we're playing against and the matchup that you have. And I think in this league, that's what you want to make sure that your matchup is in a position to where you can get the best of the other team. And we've been fortunate, to have guys like Branch, like Kirby, if his clock has started, all right, on how we can utilize him. E-Man, how we can utilize him. And then we just look at what that team has. Man, what are the matchups that best fit? Even with a Meek, I mean, do we have a guy that's similar to who he is? We can put him out there on. And we're able to put him on the outside, put him on the inside. Same with Branch. People say Branch just playing, but Branch still plays nickel for us. Or if you take a look at the film, I mean, he's still going to play in the slot, play man coverage. We just try to utilize that as much as we can. And again, our personnel department did a really good job of understanding exactly what we need as a defense. We can go out there and perform.
Mosley's made his debut in Indianapolis. He's been down since then. Is he part of the plans? Is there a chance for him to see us?
Everybody goes up there and practice. We figure out the best guy that's going to give us a chance to win the game.
Aaron, when you say on the outside, everybody's saying the sky is falling, and you don't believe that. What do you believe is the potential for this defense as you guys have lost so many players going forward?
I believe that we can be a damn good defense because even though we lost those guys, we still improved. We still did some good things. So that's how I look at it.
Do you see this as maybe an opportunity for, the defense, yourself especially, to prove people wrong, to say, look, we can still be effective, even, we can move pieces around, we can figure things out. It's not over yet.
Well, I think we've done that. We're in week, 16, and I think our stats were a lot better. Was better now than it was early in the season. So, and that has a lot to do with the players, all right? Our players understand exactly what our play style is. Even the new guys coming in, all right? That's been the most impressive thing to me is the new guys coming in, they're saying, man, coach, this is like, we haven't seen guys practice like this. We haven't seen teams we didn't practice like this. This is why you guys continue to improve on the things that you won't need to improve on. And I like to hear that, really, because it just gives me, it lets me know how other teams are operating. And I think it lets us know as an organization that we're doing things the right way. But those guys come in and they do a good job for us. So each week, man, we look forward to the challenge of each team that we play. And we look forward to the challenge of, man, we don't want to take a step down, as a defense. And I'm sure the offense feels the same way.
Where have you seen improvements from Bill Lord since last year?
So here we are, right there. I love a lot of the stuff that he just said right there. I mean, the sky's falling at 12-2, and it's like the coaches don't see it like the idiot fans do, and we are idiot fans, all of us. We're all idiot fans that think that we know about football and everything. And one of the things that he said that I really loved was, I'm not going to disrespect the players that have worked really hard, because those other guys that they brought in to learn the defense, they're here for a reason. Those guys got to step in and play, and they've been doing it for weeks. They just so happened to lose this last game. But you act like they haven't been overcoming injuries. They had a game where they had Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader out. They still won it. So, so it did catch up to them against the Bills. Bills are a really good team, though. The next man's going to step up. The next man's going to step up, and they're going to play well, because that's the way that it's been going all year. I mean, you did lose Aleem, but you did gain. You got Reader back, you got Pascal back, you got Levi back, and you had Aleem back, but then you lost Aleem. But you're still up 3 defensive linemen from last week. You are down Montgomery, but your running back room was loaded. This is why you got these guys. And all the teams are going through injury stuff. We may be going through a bad case of the injuries, but all of the teams are going through something. We're playing a team this weekend in the Chicago Bears. They're going through some stuff. They've been trying to get the same 5 guys out for offensive linemen for weeks. And, they got half of the team that's kind of checked out at this point. So they got problems. It's a good opportunity for the Lions to come in and get that win in Soldier Field. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that Chicago hasn't played Detroit tough over the last 2 years. Like last year, they were 1-1. They split the series, but Chicago probably should have won both games. This year was a nice, tough fought game, but the Lions actually did feel like the better team in that game. So what's going to happen here? I don't think the records mean anything. But I like how he says that it's dumb. It's dumb to think that the sky is falling at this point. We have a lot of other good players on this team. Panay Sewell says jump off. If you don't believe in us now, jump off. Why wouldn't you believe in the team? When he's talking about moldy bread yesterday, they were used to eating filet mignon. They were winning games with undrafted free agents, turning the franchise around. And now they win 10 games in a row. They lose one. I mean, the injury thing is concerning, but it's been concerning for 2 months. I think that's the point. It's been concerning for 2 months. And one of the games we got. We got. Let that rest in you. Let that simmer in you. Use it. Got a chance to win 3 games in a row right here. We're in control of our own destiny. Everybody else is on a hope and a prayer. Oh, I hope that. Well, the Eagles can. Well, they can just in control of our own destiny. Win your games. All right, back to Aaron.
Listen, Vildor has always been the type of corner that's going to go up and challenge, regardless of who he's going against. But now just understanding in the totality of what we're doing on defense, that's where he's improved. Really zone coverage, because we play a lot of man coverage with Vildor. But zone coverage, you really see him improve. And the thing is, he's actually been looking at the nickel spot because of the versatility he has also. So he's improving that too. So if we need him to go into nickel, man, he could do it at the drop of a hat.
At the midpoint of the season, I asked you, where you wanted this defense to improve down the stretch. You highlighted the run game.
Yeah.
5 straight with under 100 yards for your opponents. This week, obviously not what you wanted. Was there something in the film that you saw that screams anomaly, or is there a greater concern there? How much maybe did Allen play into their run game as well?
Well, listen, this Cook was a pretty good player. Listen, we never underestimated him going in at all. But he ran a whole lot harder than I thought he would run. Totally different from his brother. All right, and I just thought he came out and he had a damn good game against us. All right, it's something that we have to look at, because that's the number one part of our defense. Because we're not letting people run on our defense, and he did a really good job. So we're going into this week to make sure we don't let that happen.
One last thing about Lewis, just because he hasn't played much in 2 years, like, where is he at? How much rust does he have? You see him in week.
Man, it's tough. And then you look at the things that he's been through. He comes in one play. What game was that? Seattle game. Man, he was just about to get ready to go, and he has the other injury. Then he comes in training camp, man, and then he has the other injury. So not playing in 2 years. But I tell you, when you go out there and you watch him practice, it doesn't look like that. So, man, we still evaluating him. I mean, he understands it's a process for him. But I tell you, I look forward to him going out there playing for us. All good?
I don't know why I have to go after Dave Fipp.
So that's future head coach Aaron Glenn right there. You guys all talking about the Jets right here. That might be the new Bears head coach right there. And Broski, what are you talking about? Broski makes up his own dialogue that has nothing to do with where I'm coming from. I'm just showing you the Aaron Glenn press conferences, and Aaron Glenn and Broski's in here just trying to light fires, okay? It's okay. Just understand who Broski is. Asking me, I thought it was Super Bowl or bust. It is Super Bowl or bust, Broski. That's what I'm trying to talk about here. You got to pay attention to the dialogue that's coming off of the show. Broski just gets over in his own conversation, starts talking to himself over in the corner, and understands why nobody knows what he's talking about. So we're reviewing our coordinators right here. If I'm a Lions fan, you're not. Why wouldn't you like those responses? Yeah, it's Trollski in the house. Pulling more Trollski stuff. You know, he thinks that the coordinator should respond by going, "Oh my God, oh no, what are we gonna do without these players? We're screwed." You're right, Broski. We're screwed. We keep getting injured players. We're getting all these things. We gotta freak out. Is that how he should respond? Would that make you feel better? Because he's freaking out. You don't want a coordinator that's freaking out. It's like it's an insult to the other all-pro players that we have on our team. Yes, Jared Goff might be an all-pro this year. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably going to be an all-pro this year. I don't know about Sam Laporta at tight end, but he's making a strong case towards the end of the season. 100 yards in receiving last week. Penei Sewell, he's going to be an all-pro. Frank Ragnow is going to be an all-pro. Kevin Zeitler is going to be an all-pro. You might get Taylor Decker in the Pro Bowl. I don't think he'll be an all-pro. So when, Jack Campbell's going to go to the Pro Bowl. Brian Branch is going to be an all-pro. Kirby Joseph is going to be an all-pro. Jack Campbell's probably going to go to the Pro Bowl. So when you say the sky is falling, and it's like a lot of other teams would love to have all of those players as their marquee players. Yeah, we have a lot of good players. And a couple of our really, really good players in Carlton Davis and Aleem McNeil got hurt. But we have guys that have proven to be able to step in to be able to win games, that have already won games. So, with that being said, let's get into some Ben Johnson. I don't know if we'll have time to get into the David Fipp part today, but I do love going through these because to me, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I know I'm dumb. I know I'm dumb, but I learn more. I learn more from watching these guys than I do from like any sports talking. I can read in between the lines, and not all of this is coach speak. Some people have personalities and things that they wear certain things out, and when they say certain things, they mean certain things. So in this segment, Ben Johnson's going to talk a little bit about the head coaching questions in here. He actually hits it in this one. So here's Ben Johnson.
But every year he just makes me and AG look bad, doesn't he? And then I saw the picture. He's already got a Belichick picture. I'm like, golly. So that's awesome. Yeah, I know. It's just a constant reminder that I'm letting you guys down, but it's okay. Always next year, right?
Vodka. Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about the game last week real quick, all right? Let's get sober for a second here, because this is, last week facing a really good opponent, and when you're facing a good offense like they had, the 3-and-out to start the first half, the 3-and-out to start the second half, the fumble, those little things, they end up costing you in the long run. We couldn't run the ball very well, worse than I thought that we would do going into that game. I really thought we would have more success than what we did there. It was a combination of some poor angles, whether schematically or our guys just not taking the proper angle. We had a guy trip. We had a missed target. So a little bit of everything showed up there with that run game, and I would call it uncharacteristic of what we've been so far this year. So certainly a point of emphasis going into this week. Was really proud of how the guys finished the game, though, because we felt like with the momentum we were going, the situational football that we've been through, that if we could have gotten one more possession, that game would have been fun there at the end.
The run game, Dan talked about it. The previous week was inefficient. You can go back probably 4 of the last 7 would be classified as inefficient performances by your standards. You guys are a good run team. You have been for a long time. What maybe is some of the consistent issues that are causing the inconsistencies?
Yeah, like I said last week, when you look at that, I think there were only 13 cold runs in that game, and we only had 4 efficient ones, and there were things that were popping. It was less what Buffalo was doing to us. They really didn't do a whole lot that we didn't expect on the run plays. It was more self-inflicted and things that we feel like that we take care of each and every week, and we'll be just fine moving forward. So, listen, we had some success against this team, Chicago, last time we played them, particularly in the first half running the football, and so hopefully we can build on that. They certainly have had some struggles over the last couple of weeks, just limiting the number of points, but we know they're going to come out and they're going to come out firing. So it'll be a good challenge.
Line is playing as a whole right now.
Yeah, it's up and down. Yeah, it hasn't been consistent throughout the year. We've had glimpses of being a dominant unit, and then there are other times like last week that we just weren't ourselves. I will say in regards to last game, the protection was for throwing it 59 times was pretty good. I know Jared had some pressure and he got hit a little bit, but when you drop back and you don't move the pocket as much as we did in that game, we felt like our guys really answered the bell in that regard. So it's not necessarily always rushing statistics. It's not always sacks. It's looking at everybody individually, and we've had some pretty consistent performances across the board. It's just collectively it hasn't come together for an entire 60 minutes in a while.
And Jameer, does anything change schematically or anything like that, or you've got 100% confidence in the guys that you got, and really you just got to run it?
Yeah, no, I mean that's why we have the room the way it is, and we've always felt like the running back room was a strength for us going into the season, and it stinks that Monty's going to be out. But Gibby's he's ready for this. We've seen a lot of growth from him over the last year and a half, and I think he'll take the bull by the horns and run with it. And the guys that are depth players beneath them, Craig Reynolds and Jefferson and Bakke, those guys will have a great opportunity here to contribute as well. And so hopefully we don't miss a beat. And I really do believe Gibby's ready for this.
Back to the offensive line really quick. We saw 3 of the starting 5 just take a rest yesterday. Do you think maybe that physical rest might help them kind of get back on track?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Right there. I think that's the biggest thing. Let me get this thing out the way. Because when you're talking about what are we going to do with running the football, you got Jahmyr Gibbs. Like this, where one guy, we're sad that he's gone, he's gone. But that opens up the door of an opportunity for Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is having a monster season. He's having a monster season, and he's only been getting half of the carries. I mean, you look at, who are the top running backs in the NFL. You know, Josh Jacobs is right. I mean, him and Gibbs are neck and neck, but he has 100 more carries than he does. I don't know if it's 100 more carries, but he's got a lot more carries. You're gonna give more opportunity to our best playmaker in Jahmyr Gibbs, and they got to operate like that. You know, it is the next man. They don't have time to doom and gloom. Oh no, what are we gonna do? No, they can't do it like that. They got to move. They got to move, and they're gonna practice all week with the new crew, and those new positions are gonna get won right there. And Jahmyr Gibbs, you're gonna see more of Jahmyr Gibbs in this Chicago Bear game this week.
I mean, we had an early bye week, and then certainly after the Green Bay game, we were able to get our legs back under us a little bit. But it's a long season, and fortunately up front there, we've been fairly healthy. So they've logged a lot of snaps, they've logged a lot of games, and we have a number of guys over 30 years old. So I think coach is being smart with it and just making sure we're staying fresh here for the next 3 of the regular season going into the postseason as well.
Everybody talks about complementary football with the issues for the defense, especially injury-wise. How does that change in any way what you guys do or how you approach the game?
Honestly, it doesn't change our approach at all. Our goal each and every week is to find a way to score one more point than the opponent. And so the message to the guys on Wednesday when they came in is, how many points did we need to win that game? And it was 49. Have we scored 50 points this year? Twice. Yeah, so we're capable of doing it, but we can't do it when we have those 3 and outs and the turnovers. It's not feasible to get done that way. So listen, the defense will bounce back. I know they'll play well the next 3 games. It's not like that performance is going to happen every week. But we as an offense have to do what we can and what we're capable of to find a way to get more points than them.
I wanted to ask you about Caleb Williams. Just from your assessment of him, number 1 pick, do you think he's got a skill set that maybe a new coach would find appealing? What you've seen from his performance?
Listen, it's been difficult to sit down and just study every throw, but plenty of crossover tape over the course of the year, and there's no question this guy's talented. I remember standing on the sideline last game, and just you can hear the ball whistle by you. He's got quite a fastball, and has some creativity to him, can extend plays, and is accurate down the field as well. So, like I said, I haven't really dove in and can tell you much more beyond that, but he's been impressive from afar.
An out-of-towner question. I came up from Chicago. What did you learn in the last 2 years about your name coming up in coaching searches that has informed the way you kind of try to compartmentalize it this year?
Yeah, I'd say I'm much more prepared than I was the last 2 years. The local media has been very gracious on me this year by not bringing it up all year long. Yeah, there you go. And so, last couple of years, you getting thrown into the coordinator role, things get on you fast, and you don't really have time to think about the future a whole lot. Now that I've been through the ringer a couple times, had some interviews, I certainly do feel more prepared just from a big picture standpoint. But right now, I mean, we got 3 games left in the regular season, going into the postseason. And honestly, this is why I'm here. This is why I wanted to be here. I have an obligation to the people in the building to be right where my feet are. And when I walk in and I see the coaches staying long nights and working as hard as they're doing, and I come in and I see the guys, the players in the meeting room and on the practice field attacking each day like they are, that it's hard for my mind to wander much beyond what we're doing in the here and now.
Just to indulge one more on that.
What subject's that?
We know you're extremely happy with your job, obviously. Do you still want to be a head coach one day, and what would you be looking for if
Yeah, I'd say this. I think there's a burning desire in every man to find what he's made out of, push the limits and see if he's got what it takes. And so, yeah, there's a fire there. Now, when that time is, I don't know when that'll be, but there's certainly a fire there.
You brought up Jefferson. Scotty brought him up first when we talked about, options behind Gibbs to kind of support, the loss there. I'm just curious, what does it mean to you as a coach for a guy that's toiled on the practice squad for better part of 3 years to have, an opportunity. Is that particularly meaningful as a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big reason why you get into this business to start with, is to see growth and guys grow as players, as people, and then eventually get an opportunity to play. And that's what you've seen from him. He is a guy that has matured so much from the moment he got in the building, and he's taken some lumps and been cut and brought back and this, that, and the other. And I mean, he's really deserving of a chance here this week to show what he's made out of. He's almost like a silent assassin. He just goes about his business. He's coming in, he's working. Don't even hear a peep from him, in the unit meetings. And but when you're watching him on scout team and how he's going about his job, he's taking it very seriously. He's very professional, and I'm looking forward to him getting a chance this week.
Do you find it at all amusing or even bewildering that the Lions' Super Bowl chances seem to have taken a huge hit because of the injuries when you still have the number one scoring offense in the league?
I think anything can happen in this league, and we knew injuries were going to happen going into this season. And listen, we don't want them to happen, but just like Coach has been saying all week long, no one's going to write our story for us. So we got a great opportunity in front of us this week to win this game, and then we already know we're going to be a part of the dance, and all bets are off once we get in there.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go into Dave Fipp today. I love me some Dave Fipp. And I'll spend the last 7-10 minutes with you just talking about it right there. I mean, I get the feeling that Ben Johnson is getting closer to wanting to be the head coach, but I still sense hesitation in his voice. I mean, something that I've had this feeling for a while. I think that Ben Johnson knows that he's in a culture that is a healthy culture to build a championship franchise. And the longer that he spends in a culture like that, eating it up, making contacts, he wants to set it up that when he goes and takes that head coaching job, that he isn't just taking a head coaching job because he's the next guy. He wants to make sure that he's going to go to a place and be successful. He wants to go to a Steelers type place, or a place like Kansas City, or a place that's had a winning culture, and they know that the ownership, he ain't going to have to worry about that. He wants all of that to be perfect. And some of that stuff has nothing to do with football. Nothing. So to say that Ben Johnson is a shoe just to lead this year, I'm not feeling that from him. Yeah, there's a burning desire. Yes, I do want to be a head coach someday. Don't know if I'm ready to cross that path yet. He could lead this year. I'm not saying that he couldn't. I'm not living on a pipe and a dream. So you're asking me a direct question here. Russ, does Ben Johnson want to make it $15 million a year for 5 years to be an OC for the Lions? Get real. I don't know about 5 years. I mean, this offense is dominating this year. So if Ben Johnson stayed in Detroit, I don't think it would be Broski. I'm telling you right now, so don't put words in my mouth later. I don't think he's going to be here for more than a year, maybe 2. I think that there's still a lot that he can learn. I think that there's contacts that he's still making. He's putting his crew together right now. Behind the scenes, when he has time, he's a planner. That's what Ben Johnson is. He's a big-time planner. And right now, he's drawing up his board. And it may take him longer than what people think. 2 years. He had chances to be a head coach already. So We already know that he's looking for the right thing, and the right thing might show up. The right thing might show up. I mean, he may get the offer that he can't refuse. And you say that he's 100% gone, and you can't say that. He's already proven you wrong last year. I had this conversation with Bear Fan all last year, and we did it. I mean, to say 100%, listening to what he said right there, and he said that the fire is there, but he didn't know if he was ready yet. He said the fire is there. It's like, I'm not listening to the media. I'm listening to the actual coordinator speak from his mouth. And this is the same type of answers that he was giving last year. Now, the fire's there. If the right thing comes up this year, he's gone. That's what I definitely heard right there. But it's got to be the perfect situation for him. That's also what I heard right there. There's no denying that's what you hear. And the money has nothing to do with it. The money has nothing to do with it. Money's not going to move. He got offered $15 million a year last year to be a head coach. And he turned it down to stay. And he got a raise here. I don't know what they pay up the pay to when he stayed. But they gave him some kind of raise, but I don't think they offered him $15 million, broski. I don't think he got $15 million to stay here as an offensive coordinator, and he got offered. He got offered the Washington job. They were on a plane. So Ben Johnson has already proven that he goes against the grain. You know, just because your name is in the hat. He's got a personal relationship with some of these players too. That's another thing that you can't just overlook. Oh, he's gone. Yeah. No. The personal relationship. Jahmyr Gibbs, he drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. There's part of him I know that is weighing out. I want to see this thing through with Jahmyr Gibbs, with Penei Sewell, with Jared Goff, who he wrote this offense with. It's like the money isn't. They're rich. The money don't mean nothing to these guys. Money doesn't mean anything. It's already been true. You're already proven wrong, broski. You're already proven wrong. The money has nothing to do with it. He could have left last year for the money, and he didn't. So you're already proven wrong. You're already wrong. And I'm not saying that he's staying. I'm just saying that the conditions have to be perfect. And the number one criteria is not money to him. Money is not if the Bears offered him $100 million a year, maybe he would consider it. Maybe. But he needs the perfect situation. He wants perfect ownership. He wants it. I don't think no way it's going to be Chicago. There ain't no way he's going to Chicago. I'd bet money. I'll bet money on Chicago. I'm going to go into one of the draft spots. I'd make that bet. He ain't going to Chicago. He wants to go to a place that has good ownership that he can work with. Chicago ain't it. Chicago's a dumpster fire. I mean, Ryan Poles is finding out. It's the same broken record in Chicago. They do everything 1 year too late. And drafts don't mean anything. You've had good draft position. You've had 2 first-round picks. You got cap. I mean, you've had cap. It ain't your players. It ain't your cap. It's your ownership. It's been the same way. If you don't change nothing, nothing's going to change. That's where you're at, Chicago. The Detroit Lions shook the tree and ripped it apart at the seams, rebuilt the foundation. That's why they're having the success that they're having. Chicago keeps playing the broken record over and over and over and over again. Oh, it's not the quarterback. And then 4 years later, you draft a quarterback. Yeah, here's the new quarterback. Trubisky. Get rid of Trubisky. It's Trubisky's fault. Oh, now we got Justin Fields. You guys are done. Why'd he play bad? Well, it's not Justin Fields' fault. They need to get people in the block for him. Can't develop players. Why the hell would Ben Johnson want to go to a place like that? Ben Johnson's waiting for the Kansas City job to open up. Ben Johnson wants complete control. That's why it's not 100%. It's not 100% that he's going to leave because the conditions need to be perfect. Now, Aaron Glenn, I think Aaron Glenn is going to be a head coach next year. So if I had to put money on which guy, it's going to be Aaron Glenn. It's going to be Aaron Glenn. Because, and honestly, I think Aaron Glenn, let's be real, and I think Aaron Glenn would be a great fit for Chicago. I mean, Aaron Glenn going to, oh, he has to go to New York because he played in New York. Oh, he was already in New Orleans, so he's good. He's definitely going to New Orleans. No. I think it would be a great fit. Aaron Glenn has got that hard-nosed defense. I mean, Bears already have half of the players. Ryan Poles drafts the type of dudes that Aaron Glenn likes, at least on defense. But, and that's just being honest. You hope and a prayer, a hope and a prayer for Broski and your team to land Ben Johnson. But I definitely wouldn't want to go to a team where it had players that like gave up on the season. And you got players that are giving up. Not all of them, but some of those guys have checked out. And I want guys with heart on my team. I want guys that don't freak out when injuries happen and make excuses. But you are watching the Lion Villain Report. This has been the Coordinator Reaction Day. TGI Friday. I'm glad you guys could all make it. We got that QR code right there. We're brought to you by NFL Shop. You can click that code and get 25% off of your order. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. If you haven't got that swag yet, go get that swag. Thank you to NFL Shop. You can join me every morning, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. Talking football. We got the Bears coming up. Bears on Sunday in Soldier Field, playing out on the grass, playing out in the elements. I remember when all them Packer heads said, you guys ain't going to be able to play in Lambeau. You guys can't play out in the elements. And it was the Packers that had a hard time in the elements. As we curb stomped them in Lambeau 24-14, and it wasn't that close. The Villain Squad Facebook page with over 61,000 villains. Okay, Leon Phelps here, and I'm having a great time listening to the Villain Squad and the Villain Report in the morning with my lady friends and my warm bottle of Cavaquier. And we're gonna head to Soldier Field to the Windy City, baby, and we're gonna have ourselves a good time. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah! Lines 316 says, I just whipped your ass.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions swag right there. Brought to you by the History Channel, where you can watch Green Bay Packer championships. You can watch some Lions championships on the History Channel too. Way back in the day. And there it is.
What have you done for me lately?
Oh man. Brutal. We got a YouTube page at Lions Villain Squad. Please go subscribe. Get notified. I love talking Lions. Ooh, Paul Jones calling out AG to the Raiders. Jimmy says, I think he's gone next year. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, I'm learning how to deal with the negative trolls. It's fine. It's fine. Broski's fine. He come in here and do his thing. Troll it up, man. Troll it up. We'll finish it out on the field. You know, for the first time in my life, I like my chances against any of these NFC North teams. Dan Campbell owns Matt LaFleur. It's fun. It's fun knowing that Dan Campbell's all in Matt LaFleur's head and he can't beat him. You can have Josh Jacobs. You can have whoever you want. You ain't gonna beat this Lions team. It don't even matter. We had so many of those guys out. We had our whole team out on IR. We had no Reeder or McNeil in that game. No Pascal. We brought in a popcorn guy and a guy that was, selling those inflatable footballs in the background. Get out there, play the end. And then they beat the Packers. Yeah, you put up 30. You put up 30 on our practice squad and the popcorn man. Get your popcorn. No, we need you out there playing D end. Yeah, So brag that up. You put up 30. You put up 30 against like nobody. This is why I'm trying to tell Lion fans not to freak out. We had a hell of a lot more gone in that Packer game. The whole damn defense was gone. We brought 4 guys in off the streets. Jamal Adams, Miles Adams, Jonah Williams, Pat O'Connor. Wow. And a Packer fan gonna brag about 30 points. You scored 30 points on Pat O'Connor. Congratulations. Good luck with the rest of your season. You definitely don't want to meet us with a full roster. Ever again. Ever again. Lion Villain Report, baby. A little trash talk this morning. I'm in a mood right there. It's faith, family, and football. That means that we don't take it too serious, right? Because, you know, one of our teams is going to lose. And then you get to come in here. And then you get to say your piece. I took my medicine. The Bills were the better team. We got beat by the better team. We got to be better. It's a wake-up call. After 11 in a row, let's see if this team can respond. It's faith, family, and then football. We use football. We're going to use football to spend time with our family, make memories. We're not going to let football use us. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you guys. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. We will see you guys tomorrow. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Villain Report, the Saturday edition. The final nugget. The final nugget before the big game on Sunday with the Chicago Bears. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.